a message from future me. I'm going to be on 2 rail trails today, and I think at various points in the video I'm going to butcher both of their names. So just to clarify, I'm going to be starting on the West Luther Trailway, and I'm going to be going on to the Upper Grand Trailway. So please forgive all of the other variations that I might pepper through this video, and we'll just go with those 2 names. And now back to your regular scheduled viewing. I'm on the West Luther Trailway today, and I'm heading east towards Grand Valley and the Grand Valley rail trail. If it's sounding a little bit familiar to you, it could be because you saw my previous video when I was on the Grand Valley rail trail heading west, and when I got to the West Luther trail, the one that I'm on at the minute, the condition of it was so bad that I actually decided to turn around. Well, today I'm hoping to prove that I have the very best viewers and subscribers of any cycling channel. Let me explain why. Since I made that video, not 1 but 3 different people have got in touch with me to tell me that the West Luther Trail has been improved, and I actually believe the word is now excellent came up in one of the comments. And so I am going to trust my viewers, and I'm going to give this trail another go. And so far it's really, really good. Before I get too much further up the trail, can I ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Of course, everybody's idea of what is good and what is not so good is relative. I ride on an awful lot of trails, and I ride on trails that have all sorts of different surfaces. So I'm going to give you a real close-up. So you do have these fairly sizable rocks, and you have got the grass down the middle, but I don't think that sort of surface is going to be an issue for anyone on 32mm tyres and above. I've got 33mm on, they're studded, even the studs don't really make an awful lot of difference. So yeah, it's not a finely crushed gravel trail like a lot of the ones I do are, but it's certainly it's not bad at all. It's definitely rideable. You may be looking at those clouds behind me and thinking it looks pretty ominous, but just before I arrived in Arthur to start this ride, it was snowing and it was incredibly grey, and the weather was really, really closed in. So having driven for an hour to get here, I almost had to bail on this one before I even started, but then the snow stopped, and even in the first 20 minutes that I've been riding, there were a few little cracks in the sky, a little bit of sun coming through, a little bit of light on the horizon. So I think I'll be okay. This is totally unexpected. When those viewers were telling me that the surface was excellent. I was kind of thinking in terms of how it was at the beginning there, slightly rocky, but otherwise okay. But this is what they were talking about. This is what's been done in the last 3 months since I've been here. This surface is just unbelievably good. They have cut the trees back from either side, which also helps to clear obstructions away from the trail. It's not particularly attractive, but it will grow back in a bit. But yeah, this is a very nice riding experience. So this here is, I guess, either the end or the start of the West Luther Trailway, and over the road, I think I've been calling it the Grand Valley Railway. Well, it's the Upper Grand Trailway. I apologise for that. And that's the bit that I've ridden on. I've also ridden on about probably not even a kilometre of that way before I decided to bail. I parked at the arena in Arthur. I'll put the name of that at the bottom of the screen, and I'll also put it in the description. Seemed like a pretty good place to park, so I would recommend that you at least try that. And from that starting point to this point, the end of the West Luther Trail, I'm at just over 11.5 kilometers. So it would be about a 24 kilometer ride from here, from there to here and back again. From Arthur to Grand Valley, actually Arthur to Grand Valley would be about pushing on towards 40 kilometers. If you go to Waldemar, that's like another 2 kilometers beyond there. So it really does become a fairly significant rail trail, or series of rail trails, I guess. Whereas when I came in the summer, it was a beautiful rail trail down this way, but it wasn't particularly long. So it's amazing the work that they've done here. It's absolutely phenomenal. I've had a lot of luck recently exploring rail trails that have been recommended to me by others. Today is an example of that. Even though I've been on this part of the trail before, I wouldn't have visited the other end unless I'd had those 3 viewers telling me about it. So my question of the day is, what rail trail should I be visiting? What do you recommend? Even if it's one that I've been to before, what is your favourite rail trail? So heading back, there is a bit of a headwind and it's fairly icy, so I shall probably put my gloves on and I'll grab a few action shots and whatnot, but I'll probably talk to you at the end of the trail, if that's all right, because yeah, it's not quite as pleasant in terms of temperature going this way. Alright, shall see you in a bit. the 4% climb, which is one of the steeper climbs on a rail trail. I'm closing in on the end of this ride now. I've got about 2 kilometers to go, possibly even less than that. And yeah, this has been a great ride. It's really uncomfortable, actually, I've got to admit. It's very cold and it's been very windy going back this way. But what a great ride. And it's so nice to come to a trail that, you know, I thought was unrideable. In fact, it was unrideable on a road bike, for me anyway. Only to find that they've done this incredible job of restoring the trail and really sort of making it top class. It's also interesting because there's 3 distinct different types of trail surface. There's that middle section, the brand new section. It's a little bit sandy still, but it'll pack down. Then there's the end near Grand Valley, which is hard packed. And then there's this, which would be the only thing that might stop 1 or 2 people who are on road bikes with, say, 24mm tires that are like pumping up to sort of 70 psi. This might be not so good for you. I actually didn't go all the way to Grand Valley in the end. Like I say, it was a little bit uncomfortable. My hands are really quite cold. I should have my gloves on. And I was anticipating this fairly vicious headwind, which hasn't disappointed. So I stopped before getting to Grand Valley. It's going to be, I'm guessing, about 35 kilometers, which still is really quite okay for me on a day like today, so I'm perfectly happy with that. This trail, you can go quite a bit further than that, well over 40 kilometers from Waldemar to Arthur, and I shall be doing that next year when it's a little bit warmer than this. I really hope you've enjoyed coming with me on this ride today and looking at these 2 fantastic trails. Hopefully they're ones that you will add to the list. Please remember, as always, hit that like button, and if you haven't done this already, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you on the next ride.